This is our documents library, and it's been modified to have another column of data, which simply lists the owner, a department that's in charge of this particular document. And that information was updated just a couple minutes ago, as you can tell. We want to create a view of this library that allows us to sort this by name, but to group it by the department that owns it. So to create a new view, there are a couple of ways we can do it. If we just want to create a sorted view, that's pretty easy because all I do is sort it. And as soon as I do that, I have the choice to save this view right here. That's a fabulous new feature in the 2013 version of SharePoint Online because it means if I can create a view that looks like what I want, I can then immediately save it. So if we want to save this view, then we can do that. A keyword that you use to indicate that it's sorted on a particular field is the word by. So we might call this view by owner. And I'm going to go ahead and save this view and say by owner. Make it public so everyone can see it. That's the default. And I click. And now by owner has been added. So here's my all documents view, and here's my by owner view. I can't, however, group right here, and because of that, I can't create a grouped view here. In order to create a view that is grouped rather than simply sorted or even filtered, I'm going to need to go to the Library tab and say that I'd like to create a view. If you create a standard view, then there's automatically a corresponding datasheet view created. So there's no reason to choose datasheet view unless you wanted to make sure that that was the default view. I'm going to choose standard view, and we're going to call this. You could say grouped by, but by means the same thing. So we could say this is by department owner. Notice that when I'm creating a view, I can make it the default view. We'll leave that for right now. This is a new public view. Here are all of my columns. I can add any other column that I want. So this shows modified and modified by, but I might want to also say when it was created. And if I wanted to add that before owner, then I need to give it a number here higher than 6 because owner is now 5. So if I make created number 5, it will punch owner down to number 6 automatically. So I'm going to see the type, the name, modified, and who by, the date that it was created, and what department owns it. That looks pretty good. So I want to sort these by name, and I don't mind it having an edit menu, so let's do that. That's good enough. There's some filter information. We'll come back to that. I'm going to choose group by and choose to group by the owner right here. Another choice that I have when I'm grouping is I can say by default, have the groups collapsed when we start and I can then expand them, or start expanded and I can collapse. But I'm going to go ahead and say collapse 30 groups per page and click OK. And here's my new view. So here's owner. I can open up ADC, major manufacturing project, product development. And if I go to the library, I actually have the choice in my view to go back in and modify it and make any kind of changes I would like to the view. So if I decide, I think I'd like to have them expanded all the time, let's just jump right back in. Here's our same view. And let's go in and make that one choice under group by. Say, actually, let's go ahead and make sure that these are shown expanded and allow the user to collapse them. Go ahead and click OK again. And here we are, and this view now has them expanded when we start. So here's our all documents view. Here's our by owner. Here's our by department owner view. That looks just great. So that's how easy it is to create a view that's sorted or grouped, grouping being like super sorting. What if I want to only show some of the documents that meet a particular criteria? Well, then what I'll want to do is to create a filtered view. So for example, perhaps I want a view only for the product development group or only for ADC. Well, if I wanted only ADC, let's go ahead and filter this so I'm seeing only ADC and click close. Now notice I could filter for 2 or 3 departments at the same time. So if ADC and training are in the same area, I could turn those 2 on, for example. We'll just keep just ADC here, choose close. Now if I'm going to save this view, instead of using the word by, which is what you use for sorting and grouping, we're going to use the word only. This is only ADC, and click Save. And now we have this view as well. Now, we're only seeing a few views, so if I want to go back to by owner, for example, by department owner, Click here for additional options, only ADC. That's how easy it is to create filtered views. Now, if you think, wow, that would be great. I want to create a view just for my own documents or just for documents created in the last 7 days. Don't do it this way. That kind of view is called a dynamic view, and we'll look at it in the next movie.